Well, that was a roller coaster of a game, and it was actually quite an enjoyable roller coaster. If you forget about that first period, because oh my god, was that horrendous. How's it going, Sims fans? This is Hainsey Hockey coming at you with a new video. I'm going to be reviewing the Washington Capitals taking on the Ottawa Senators on Monday, the Canadian Tire Center. Now, this game had some storylines. It was a physical game. There were some questionable calls. There were a lot of goals. To start off the game, your starting goaltenders are Anton Forsberg for the Ottawa Senators and Ilya Samsonov for the Washington Capitals. The Capitals are off to a hot start this season. Ovechkin was in goal-scoring prime, as he always is, and the team looked lethal, ready to take a shot at our Ottawa Senators. Brady Tkachuk would level Orlov at the start of the game to set the tone and send a message to the Caps saying, nobody's going to push us around today. Instead of the Sens getting pushed around, there was a lot of fighting and pushing each other between these two teams. The Sens also sent another quick message by scoring a goal right away. It's 1-0 from Drake Batherson. Brady Tkachuk is fighting in the corner. He manages to get it, dishes out to Batherson, and boom! It's 1-0 for the Sens. Great start, and it would only get questionable from there. Now, Josh Brown would be trying to break out on the right side of the face-off circle in our zone, and he'd fumble the puck, and he would get it to Van Riemsdyk, who then chips it over to Oshie, who ties the game, and it's 1-1. Not much long after that, so we were already playing who can break the ice. It didn't take us long to blow the lead. It was already 1-1. This is frustrating. Orlov got hit a lot by Senators this game, and this time he got hit by Scott Sabourin, who then right afterwards would receive a nice pass from Thomas Chabot, who wrapped around the net and found him wide open. Fortunately, it doesn't go in, but Sabourin was making his presence known tonight on the ice. The Capitals and the Senators would exchange tic-tac-toe plays as Kuznetsov and Ovechkin would do tic-tac-toe to Anton Forsberg, and he'd stop that. And right after, the Sens go marching down. This time it's Connor Brown and Nick Paul who do a little tic-tac-toe pass to Ilya Samsonov, but doesn't go in. And then we're right back where we started, back to play. Thomas Chabot would break through Washington's defense core and get a nice shot on the net. But TJ Oshie would ruin that from after the rush up from Ilya Samsonov. The Capitals gain ground. Mantha gets the puck to TJ Oshie right in front of the net, and the Capitals end up taking the lead 2-1. I feel like Forsberg should have had that one. I really feel like Forsberg should have had one. That's one the goaltender shouldn't let by. Sabourin would get a chance. Logan Shaw would get a breakup pass to Paul, who would get a shot on the net, and Zaitsev would try and get the rebound. Nothing happens though. And despite our best efforts, and despite the shots we were getting, and piling onto Ilya Samsonov, it would not be enough. Orlov would pass it to Jensen from the blue line, and again, just Forsberg couldn't see it, and bam, it's 3-1. And we're playing catch-up again so early, despite a very strong start to this game and a sluggish Capitals team in that first half. And the hockey gods would still not be kind to the Ottawa Senators as Lars Eller dishes it to John Carlson from the blue line and rips another one past Anton Forsberg. Now, recap this horrific event for you. In the first period, the last bit of this first period, the Ottawa Senators and Anton Forsberg allowed 4 goals on 9 shots in 9 minutes and 17 seconds. I thought it was bad when we let up 3 goals in 3 minutes and 20 seconds against the Rangers last game, but no, this was far worse. Forsberg is responsible for 2 of those goals. There's 2 of those goals that Forsberg should have stopped, and it was an easy NHL play. Anyone could have predicted that. Any goaltender could have predicted that. And the other end was just poor play and out of position, and the Senators didn't have an answer right away. So after that goal, Forsberg's night is done, and Philip Gustafsson, Goose, the rookie sensation, comes back into net for the Sens. The Sens would start off the second period playing back and forth with the Capitals, who's actually pretty evenly matched, and they end up breaking the ice and making it 4-2 as Josh Norris gets it to the 5-hole on a nice feed from Zub and Batherson, and the Sens are back in this. It's 4-2. Could these see the start of something special? I'll give you a little spoiler, it was kind of special. Evgeny Kuznetsov would get a holding penalty, put the Sens on the power play, and it was a really great power play. A lot of scoring chances, it was constantly in Washington's zone, they were having a hard time clearing it, and whenever there were whistles blowing, there was always a scrim, always a scrap going on, and Brady Tkachuk, you better believe, was always in the middle of whatever the heck was going on the ice. The Sens and Capitals would exchange penalties back and forth, and would go from 4-on-4 to 4-on-3 to 5-on-4 and so on. A lot of penalties were handed out. However, we take advantage of all these power plays and end up cutting the lead down to 1 as Chris Tierney bats it in the net from Tyler Ennis and Thomas Chabot. And now it is 4-3. The Sens are back in this game. They're coming back hungry, coming back vicious, and they're showing Washington they're not just going to be pushed around. They're going to have to fight real hard for this win, and there's still a lot of game left to be. At this point in the game, Ottawa had won 61.7% of all face-offs, which was a real improvement from what we have been doing through the start of this season, because it was pretty bad at the point. So, real great improvement to see here. Now the play is down in Washington's zone. Brady Tkachuk manages to get control of the puck. He gives it a little kick over to Drake Bowers in front of that, who with patience uses the toe drag and lifts it over Ilya Samsonov. And now the game is tied. It's 4-4 and the crowd erupts. I was screaming. Everyone in my house was screaming. This was great. The comeback felt real, all right? We had just come down 4-1. We scored 3 goals in the second period and try and make a huge comeback. That would be Bowers' second goal of the game. Good for Drizzy. However, this hype would be short-lived as Nikita Zaitsev takes a slap shot that bounces off Alex Ovechkin's pad, putting the puck right at center ice. Ovechkin dashes past him, gets a breakaway, and gets a pass to Goose. I mean, it's Alex Ovechkin. He's the greatest goal scorer in history. What was he going to do there? And so Ovechkin makes it 5-4 for Washington, and we're behind again after coming back so triumphantly. And Washington would not be done stopping around the Sens because before the end of the second period, TJ Oshie outworks Nick Holden, wraps around the net, and it is now 6-4 for Washington. TJ Oshie gets a hat trick. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? There were a few hats on the ice too. That was a real hit in the gut there right before the period ended in 6-4. And Goose had been playing good. It's just our guys are out of position. Josh Brown, Nikita Zaitsev, I'll talk about them later. What makes it even worse is that we outshot them 29-24 at this point. We had more shots, and we had played so much better that second period. The commentators even said it too. The Senators had dominated that period, and the Capitals just got a couple lucky breaks, and now they're ahead by 2 goals. Alex Fermenton would get a breakaway, which got the fans excited and gave the team some momentum and something to rally around. And it works as Chabot and Norris pass it over to Drake Batherson, who puts it back in the net, and it is now 6-5. Drake Batherson gets his first career NHL hat trick as soon as it goes to the net. Brady Tkachuk's there picking up the puck, and that's how you knew it was him. Some people thought maybe Brady got the tip, but he was picking up the puck and bringing it over the jersey off nice feed from Norris. Wow, this was quite the roller coaster of a game, and it would only keep going from here. Now, the Sens would get a penalty, which they killed off pretty well, except for the fact that as soon as it ended, Ovechkin would be left wide open in front of the net, with Goose having no chance of stopping him, and they make it 7-5 for Washington. Josh Brown was out of position and left Ovechkin there with literally nothing to stop him from just doing what he normally does and winding up a shot in his office. After some more back and forth play, things would get heated, and Tkachuk and Wilson would get into it a little bit, and they'd both get ejected from the game. Isn't that just lovely? So now we're out number 7 for the rest of the game too, and Goose is pulled, and there's 6 guys on the ice, and we just kept trying to score. We put so much pressure. It was a real good end to the game, but Ovechkin was just trying so hard to get that hat trick. I don't know whether it was to get the hat trick or just to get more goals for the scoring race against Gretzky, but it was really annoying just seeing Washington just shoot the puck down the ice the entire time. Super frustrating. And that's basically the game. The Sens won more faceoffs than the Capitals did, so that is something we can build on from this game. It was nice to see us winning draws and be able to start something right away off the play instead of having to play catch up and get the puck back and rebound from that. Tim Stützle is all over the place. It really sucks, man. He's putting up so many shots and he's working so hard and he's getting knocked around by everyone in the league, but he's not getting the goals. But he's trying so hard, and he's one of the many bright spots of this team so far. Thomas Chabot took a stupid hit from Wilson, which instigated Tkachuk protecting him, and I'm really glad that he did that because Tom Wilson, nobody likes him. No one likes Tom Wilson. I mean, he's the reason why the Rangers had to rehaul their entire management team and roster. Nick Paul looks really comfortable at the second line center. I really liked his game today. Again, he's solid defensively. You can always rely on him to take over interceptions and create them too, and he's always great on the penalty kill and one of the bright spots here. Forsberg, that was not great performance considering how well you performed in your past ones. Luckily, Goose held the fort down for us. He let in a couple, but they were not on him. Again, we don't have Matt Murray either, so there's still no timeline on when he's going to return. It might be a week or so, so we'll see when we get him back. Maybe he can provide some steady goaltending. So overall, even though the Sens lost, this was quite the game. This was really exciting because the Sens did not really give up except for that first part in the first period, but once you got past that, this was a very even, competitively played game, and the Sens were the better team in the second period, and they were just equal to the Caps in the third. And unfortunately, you don't come out with the win, but this game was exciting. And Drake Batherson, for his career hat-trick, that's something you can take away from it. But now after this game, the Senators have some time off. They don't play till Friday, where they kick off a 3-game road trip starting off in Dallas, Texas, where they take on the Dallas Stars. Again, even though they just played them here. The team has only had one road game so far where they lost to the Maple Leafs, so it'll be important for them to be able to compete on the road. It's really tough playing on the road too, with all the travel and jet lag and just differences and everything, so hopefully they figure it out and we can have a very strong first road trip of the season. It is also likely that Dylan Gambrell makes his Senators debut against the Dallas Stars, so we'll see what he can add to our lineup. Alright, Sens fans, thank you guys for watching. This is all I got for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Go Sens, go!